Yo guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. I am DJ Kiz Walsh, and well, it's been a while. I hope you're doing okay. It's been a good few months since we spoke last, and yeah, it's been fun. I've moved house. I've bought my own house now. I have a full attic room all to myself. This is my studio, my little DJ room, my office, whatever you want to call it, the war room. I'm yet to decorate it and kit it out with everything I need, set up the decks and everything. But once I do, I will be doing a little room tour showing you guys exactly what it looks like in here once I have everything set up. But the reason why I'm back today is because about 6 months ago, maybe a year, I made a video called Top 5 DJ Controllers for under $100. Now, one of the DJ controllers I put in that video was by a brand called Hercules. They make a lot of great DJ controllers. The Impulse 200, the Impulse 400, the Starlight, they're all fantastic controllers, and they even obviously have higher end stuff as well that's fantastic. But in that video, I actually featured the DJ Control Starlight as one of the best entry level controllers you can buy for under $100. So Hercules actually saw that video and they were like, hey Kiz, we want to send you a Starlight just to say thank you, just for including us in your top 5. And if you like it, you know, make a video on it, do a mix, whatever you want. So I said, absolutely no problem. I know it's going to be a good controller. Send one over and I'll see if I like it. So they did. They sent me the Hercules DJ Control Starlight. So yeah, thank you very much to Hercules. Very, very happy to receive this. It's the first free DJ deck I have ever had. I've had some other free stuff off other brands, but in terms of a free DJ deck, you can't really go wrong. And in today's video, I'm going to be unboxing it. I'm going to be giving you a quick walkthrough on how to install it, give you a quick run through of the mixing features. Can't wait for this one. Let's jump into it. So here we have it, the Hercules DJ Control Starlight. Again, thank you very much for Hercules for sending me this DJ controller. You know, they've sent it to me. I don't have to send it back, so I guess this is a paid ad, or I guess this is a sponsored video. So yeah, thank you for them. They did make sure to tell me though that I don't have to say anything good about this controller. I'm not under any obligation to say it's good, it's bad, it's rubbish, you have to buy it, you shouldn't buy it. They just said, thank you very much for making the video, Kiz. Here's a controller. I hope you enjoy it. Technical support thing. You also get a quick start guide on how to plug all your stuff in. But of course, we don't need this. We know what we're doing. And you also get the DJ Control Starlight. Now that is a very, very small controller. I don't know if that's coming through, but there's my hands. As you can see, it's very small. But the reason why this is so small is because it's not necessarily aimed at beginner DJs exclusively. Hercules have kind of made this with the idea that advanced DJs, you know, experienced DJs that DJ professionally in clubs and bars and stuff, can take this with them while they're traveling. Let's say you're going on the train to a gig, you can take this with you in your backpack because it's so small. You can plug it into your laptop and you can prepare your sets. You can set cue points, maybe you can practice a little bit of a mix. Basically, you can get your sets ready by having you know, the perfect little DJ controller to be able to use professionally. So, you know, I like the idea of this product, you know. So we'll get into the nitty-gritty. So you also get a cable in the box. It's micro USB to regular USB, and that's how you power the Hercules DJ Control Starlight. So we'll plug it in, get a little bit of a light show, which is one of the cool things about this DJ controller, is it actually has built-in lights underneath it, so adds a little bit of flavour to the party. There we go, we've got some lights flashing. Okay, pretty cool. I do like the design of it. I like how it's the same size as a laptop. I like how obviously it's laid out with the two channels on each side, and it's very conventional in the way it's laid out. They've not tried to go too far away from, you know, typical DJ controls and DJ decks. Buttons in the usual places, channel faders and the volume control knobs in the right places. Also the tempo adjust on the right sides too. And I do love the lights, I've got to be honest, I like the lights. and apparently the lights actually change depending on the music you're playing. So if it's a faster BPM, it will change to the BPM that you're playing. If it's like really bass heavy, it'll change the lights, and you know, to reflect what kind of music you're playing. So that's really cool. So here's a little bit of a closer look at the Control Starlight. Pretty cool. The top doesn't have anything on it, it's completely plain. And then on this side you have your headphone output, which is just a small jack. And then on this side you have a power cable, and it also has a output for your master volume, which again is a small jack. On the bottom you have your branding, Hercules, Serato, and on the bottom you can see the LEDs under there. They are really, really bright, and this clear plastic on the bottom allows the LEDs to light up the table all around it, which again, very, very cool. Alright, so let's quickly run through the functions of the controller, what each button does for any beginners out there. Let's say this is your first controller, what does everything do? Well, luckily I've had plenty of DJ experience, so I can tell you exactly what everything does. So first of all, starting off with these little things on the side, these little kind of slidey things, these are called tempo adjust. Now these are what speeds up and slows down the songs, and obviously you do that to beat match the songs, so you can beat match them and create a mix. Now these here are your jog wheels. Basically this is how you nudge the track. If you click play slightly out of beat, you can just nudge it either backwards or forwards, so that you can make the tracks be playing at the same time, so you can match the beats up. Also, what's really cool about this certain DJ controller is that it's actually touch sensitive on the top, like vinyls. So if you touch it, you can scratch the record. You can turn that on and off just by clicking the vinyl button there. So even if you touch it, it won't stop the record, so you won't be able to scratch. But if you turn it obviously on, then you will be able to scratch. And you can also search the track really quickly as well, just by spinning the jog wheel. So the jog wheels are really small, they are tiny, but you can get a little bit of a scratch going. You know, they're big enough to use. You know, they are the smallest they could possibly be and still be usable. So obviously here we have our play button, Q button, sync button, obviously stop and start. Q will jump back to a place in the track that you've chosen, and sync obviously syncs the BPMs of each side. Now these are your performance pads. It looks like we have 4 features here. We have hot cue, effects, loop, and a sampler. Hot cues are where you can choose different parts of the songs that you want to jump back to. So let's say you want to put hot cue at the very start, so you can click that and it will set a hot cue at the start of the song. Let's say you want to set another hot cue at the start of the first breakdown, you can click one there. Let's say you want to put a hot cue when the song finally drops, you can click it there. And then let's say there's a point towards the end of the track where you want to mix out from, you can then assign that hot cue to that, and you will basically always be ready then while you're mixing. You can always jump to whichever part of the track that you need. Effects, you can assign these yourself. Basically, if you're playing the track, you can hold any of these and it will put an effect on the track for you. Let's say reverb, which makes the track sound like it's being played in like a really big hall. You can add like echo, which basically echoes the track and spirals it so that it kind of gives this really spacey effect. But there's also tons of effects that you can use as well. Now you'll be able to assign these and choose whichever effects that you want to use on your DJ controller. Loop, pretty self-explanatory. You can loop the track. This is good for helping with like mixing, you know, ins and outs. Basically, it can save a mix as well, but more useful is probably for things like tracks that don't have intros, and if you want to do something creative, you can use a loop. I love loops, I think they're fantastic. And a sampler is basically you can put like a foghorn in it and it'll go doo 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 doo. You can do that with a sampler. You can basically put any noise in here. Let's say you want to put a drop as well, where it's like DJ Kiz Walsh. You can put that in the sampler section, and you know that'll play when you hit the button. So here you have the control of your headphones, so you can basically choose between listening to the output that only you can hear, or you can choose it where you can listen to the master output and the headphones. So that's obviously good for beat matching. Make sure that the tracks are sounding good before you come in, and yeah, that's useful. As I said, the vinyl button will change it so that if you touch it on the top, you can actually grab the track and stop it. If you turn it off, then you can just nudge the track by using the top. Shift button allows you to access all of the features that are in white under each pad. So if you hold Shift and click headphone, it'll turn on Q and mix. Now these knobs in the middle are all to do with volume. This is your master output, this is what will be playing through the speakers. This is your headphones outputs, this is what you'll be able to hear through your headphones. These are your channel volume knobs, so basically this replaces the 3-band EQ that you would normally see on a DJ controller. And basically you can just turn the volume up and down depending on which track you're bringing in and which track you're taking out. So this is your bass and filter knob. So basically if you have that on, you can use the filter, and you can, which is one of the most effective effects in DJing, by the way. I absolutely love the filter, and if you turn it off, then that will control the low end frequencies of each side, so you can turn the bass down, and then when you're ready you can flip the basses over and, you know, get creative in the mix. And then finally, the last button on the controller is the crossfader here in the middle. That's how you basically go from this side to this side. You can slowly move over, as well as using the volumes and the bass knobs and other things. The crossfader is there to help you slowly and seamlessly transition between each track. So there you go, not a ton of buttons on this controller. It's nice and compact. It's got everything that you need in order to create a mix and learn how to DJ to a decent standard. It is a little bit too small for my liking, I won't lie to you. I'm obviously used to playing on bigger, more professional DJ equipment, but as a backpack DJ controller, you can't really go wrong. It's got everything that you need. I think that for the price, honestly, I'm surprised that this is even available. I mean, you could learn to DJ to a pretty high standard on this thing. You could definitely learn how to do a bit of scratching. You could definitely learn how to use effects and hotkey cues and do some seamless mixing. So I don't really have anything negative to say about the way that the controller is laid out. I think it's fantastic. There's only one bad thing that I think this controller is missing. One thing that I wish it had installed in it, and that is a search knob at the top here, so that you could search for your tracks in Serato by clicking left and clicking right and going through your library and then assigning the track to each side. Because at the moment, if you want to put a track on, you have to lean over to your laptop, drag a track over to whichever side you want to assign it to, and then you have to come back over to your deck. So that's the only thing I don't like about the Hercules DJ Control Starlight. I wish it had a search feature at the top, just a little knob where you could go side to side. I'm guessing they couldn't squeeze that technology in here, or for whatever reason they decided not to, which is fine. Searching with your hand still works fine. Again, you know, this is meant to be more of a mobile DJ deck, so they can only put so much in this little small device. So yeah, big props to them. So there you have it, guys. That is a unboxing and a quick introduction to the DJ Control Starlight. So I've played on this a few times now, and I do think it is actually a very good controller. Of course it's small, but you know it's a small controller. Come on, I mean, look at it, it's tiny, but it does everything that you need it to do. And if you're a beginner DJ and you're looking for a controller and you need a controller to, you know, learn to mix, and you're on a very tight budget, you know, let's say you don't have a job, let's say you're a youngster, you know, and your parents are saying, listen, you're not having a pair of CDJs, you can have something that's $100, then bang, you've got yourself a controller that you can learn to mix on. And it's got everything that you need. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play on this little thing for a few weeks now, get to know it, try out all the creative features on here, and in a couple of weeks I'm going to make a mix on this. I'm going to try and do a tech house mix, maybe a house mix, techno. I'm going to do a couple of different mixes on here, and I'm going to upload them to this YouTube channel for everyone to see. So make sure you are subscribed for that, and of course like the video as well. While you're down there, you might as well. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some mixes on this thing and see how it actually performs in a live situation where you're trying to perform. But honestly, it's pretty nifty. I quite like it. You know, there's a reason why I included it in my top 5 DJ controllers a year ago, and that's because it is good value for money. It's one of the cheapest DJ controllers that you can buy, and for the features that you get, it's pretty good value. So if you are interested in picking one of these up, I will have a link in the description. It is off Amazon. And you know, the price is very, very fair, and if you use that link, it gives me a small commission, which I then can spend on other entry-level DJ products to also review for the channel. So that would be massively appreciated. I would like you to use those links. If you are going to buy one, go and click on that link, and get yourself one. Expect a few mixes out in a couple of weeks, and then in a couple of months, a full review. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then again, drop it a like rating, subscribe for more videos just like this one, and check out some of my other DJ controller related videos. If you like this one, you might like the other ones too, who knows. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day. I will catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye bye.